Everyone, welcome to my channel Conceptual Medico. Today's topic is physiology of pain. This is the first part of the physiology of pain, under which I am going to discuss about the topic introduction of pain, types of pain, components of pain sensation, ascending pathway of pain, descending pathway of pain, and events taking place at substantia gelatinosa of Rolando. Let us start with the introduction of the pain. So here we need to know the definition of the pain. So, pain is defined as an unpleasant sensory and emotional experience which is associated with or without actual tissue damage. Pain sensation is described in many ways like sharp, pricking, electrical, dull, aching, shooting, cutting, stabbing, etc. Pain is produced by real or potential injury to the body. For example, pain produced by fire is expressed as burning sensation, and pain produced by severe sustained contraction of the skeletal muscle is expressed as cramps. Pain may be acute or chronic. So basically there are two types of pain, acute pain and chronic pain. Acute pain is sharp pain or short duration pain with easily identified cause. It is usually treated by medication. Whereas chronic pain is intermittent or constant pain and it has different intensities. Chronic pain may last for longer period of time and it becomes difficult to treat chronic pain. So we need to have professional expert care. Next, components of pain sensation. Pain sensation has two components, fast pain and slow pain. Fast pain is the first sensation whenever a pain stimulus is applied, and fast pain is sharp, bright and localized pain, whereas the fast pain is followed by slow pain, which is experienced as dull, diffused and unpleasant pain. Suppose a person has an injury. So the first perception of the feeling of the pain is our fast pain, which is bright, sharp, and we know the location of the pain. Whereas after some times the fast pain is followed by the slow pain. The slow pain is usually diffused and dull. Next is fibers. Fast pain fibers. Fast pain sensation is carried by A delta type FN fibers which synapse with the neurons of marginal nucleus in the posterior gray horn of spinal cord. And the slow pain fibers or the slow pain sensation is carried by C type efferent fibers which synapse with the neurons of substantia gelatinosa of Rolando in posterior gray horn of spinal cord. Now the ascending and descending pathway of pain. Now we are going to discuss about the ascending and descending pathway of pain. Suppose you have an injury to your right hand. What happens then and how do we feel the pain? The pain signals coming from the site of the injury will travel up to the brain, and this is where the perception of the pain is felt. The signals going up to the brain is referred as the ascending pathway. Now, injuries to our bodies are felt on certain areas of the brain, that is the somatosensory cortex. So let us recap the brain briefly. As we can see, here is the cerebrum, cerebellum, and the somatosensory cortex. Somatosensory cortex lies posterior to the central sulcus. Let us take a cross-section area of the brain and zoom it to the somatosensory area or somatosensory cortex. Somatosensory cortex is the area where any sensation is perceived, which includes the pain sensation. It has areas which correlate to the different parts of the body. So, for example, let us look at the left side of the brain. The somatosensory cortex has outer surface of somatosensory cortex represents the leg, hands and face of the right side. Now the brain continues down and joins to the brain stem. The brain stem is made up of three main components: the midbrain, pons and medulla, and these are the cross section of these of the brainstem, midbrain, pons, and medulla. The brainstem then continues down and becomes the spinal cord. So here we are only looking at one segment of the spinal cord, and spinal cord has nerves coming out of the anterior root and nerves coming into the posterior root. So here I have only drawn the nerve root of the right side. Different tracks exist within the spinal cord. One important track for pain pathway or ascending pathway is the spinothalamic tract, and it is made up of anterior or lateral spinothalamic tract. Now let us go back to the right hand injury. The right hand has an injury on the palm. Within the area, there are immune cells residing. When any cells are damaged, which includes our skin cells, they start releasing a chemical which is known as cytokinin and prostaglandin. Now here the prostaglandin is represented by Pg. Pg are released by all the cells typically as a response to inflammation. Sensory nerve fibers exist all over the body. The sensory nerve fibers will respond to these Pgs and will carry the signals and impulse to the spinal cord, dorsal horn of the spinal cord. And here these neuron is the first order neuron. And at the dorsal horn, the first order neuron will synapse with or transmit the signals to the second order neuron. Now the second order neuron here will cross over to the opposite side and will enter the spinothalamic tract. From here, the second order neuron will continue to ascend to the remaining part of the spinal cord to the brains through the brainstem and terminate to the thalamus. Now, at the thalamus is a relay station. So at the thalamus, the second order neuron will transmit or relay its signals to the third order neuron. The third order neuron will carry the signals to the region of the brain which correlates to the injured right hand. It is important to remember that this is the left side of the brain, whereas the stimuli is on the right hand. Thus, sensation always travels to the or is always on the opposite side of the brain to where the stimulus occur. Now, another most important thing to remember is that a chemical which is secreted by the first order neuron, and this chemical is known as substance P. This chemical, the substance P, is secreted at the dorsal horn of the spinal cord. Now, if there is an ascending pathway, there has to be a descending pathway. So, while the ascending pathway is responsible for transmitting the pain signals to the brain, the descending pathway responds to the controlling of the ascending pathway. The most important area of descending pathway are periaqueductal gray matter and nucleus raphe magnus. When not inhibited, the neurons arising from the periaqueductal gray matter, it will descend down it will go down and it will synapse with the second order neuron. Now, this second order neuron is a serotonergic or noradrenaline. And these serotonergic and noradrenaline neurons will travel down towards the dorsal horn of the spinal cord as well. And the role is to inhibit and control the communication between the first and the second order neuron of the ascending pathway. The serotonergic neuron here will inhibit the transmission from the first order neuron earlier to the second order neuron of the ascending pathway, and thus it helps to control the pain signals going up. And there is another neuron which plays an important role, which is this one, small neuron. Now I will talk about it later. Now these descending pathway of spinal cord is pretty much, or dorsal horn of the spinal cord is pretty much important area. We can call it like a gate. So gate control system, if we zoom it to this area, that is the dorsal horn of the spinal cord, we can actually refer this as the substantia gelatinosa. So let us just study this area. Here we have the first order neuron coming in and synapsing with the second order neuron. The first order neuron will bring an action potential which will eventually stimulate the vesicles to release contents into the synapse, which is our substance P. Another neuron, which is our serotonergic neuron. Now, this serotonergic neuron will release its content, serotonin and noradrenaline. And this will do two things. Firstly, it will bind with the receptors of the presynaptic neuron. Okay, the serotonin and the noradrenaline will bind with the receptors of presynaptic neuron, and it will inhibit the release of substance P. Secondly, it will stimulate a small neuron, which is our interneuron. Now, these interneuron in the substantia gelatinosa is actually an opioid neuron, which stimulated will release endogenous opioid called enkephalin. Now, enkephalin, like any opioids, will do two things. Firstly, it will inhibit the presynaptic neuron from releasing the substance P, and secondly, it will inhibit the postsynaptic neuron from depolarizing. That is our second order neuron from depolarizing, and thus it will stop the continuation of the stimulus to the thalamus. So, in all, the opioids such as enkephalin will inhibit the ascending pathway of pain. So, here we have talked about the ascending and the descending pathway of pain and how the descending pathway inhibits and controls the sensation of the pain. So, we have another topic under this physiology of pain, that is the pain gate theory. This is a very important topic and a very easy topic which I am going to discuss at the next part of the physiology of pain.